Hello children, welcome to NEET World. This is Narayani. I am your foundation biology educator. In previous class, we completed all the activities from the chapter of nutrition in plants of the 7th standard CBSE. Right, and also we discussed how the photosynthesis is happening, what are the inorganic materials is required to produce the food in the for the plants to prepare the food. Right, so we'll go little more depth into the subject today. So before going to start the session, I would like to announce very important news for you here. So this is our Telegram group channel. So by scanning this QR code, you can access our Telegram group. So what are the benefits you will get by joining in our Telegram group? So you will get daily quizzes of biology, chemistry, physics and also mathematics. These are the 4 subjects is very most important to your for your class. To understand a little more conceptual learning will be important for these these subjects. So for the competitive examinations also you can access our Telegram channel because we are providing daily quizzes there, and also live classes. We are priorly informing you the pre-live class schedules. Thereby you can join on time to our in our live classes. And also what are the free content PPTs are there, we will drop there. So you can easily refer and can easily study the information, and it is quite useful for you. And also mainly important thing, one-on-one doubt solving sessions will be there. So as the faculties also will be there in the Telegram group, you can contact directly with them. So what you have the doubt, you can post it there with the particular faculty. The particular faculty will clear out all your doubts. And if you have any queries about our institute, you can call this 2 number. So we will give all information about our institute. And also children, the batches are already started, and the schools are also started, and the batches are going on. Almost 3 batches are going on for the foundation. So if you are really interested to power your foundation, just join in the NEET World because it is quite convenient for you, as we are providing online also, offline also. If you are really interested, if you are really determined to achieve your goal of upcoming of 11th and 12th, you want to crack NEET and also JEE, it is the best platform for you because we are making your foundation strong, right? So this is about our institute. So let's start today's session. Please quietly wait 1 minute. Okay. See, so today we are discussing about the factors affecting photosynthesis. We know what are the required elements to prepare the food in the plants. The required elements are the light also is required, right? Carbon dioxide required, water is also required, right? These are the required elements for the photosynthesis. So we are saying that light is required. With the help of the light only the food is preparing in the plants. The process of photosynthesis occurring in the plants, right? So the source from where the sunlight is coming from, it reaching the earth as the solar radiation. It is a primary source for the light to prepare photosynthesis in green plants, right? What is the photosynthesis? The plants can prepare their own food by the process name called photosynthesis. By using the light, they are synthesizing. What is meant by synthesizing? Which means production of food. Other than photosynthesis, we know that plants are producing their own food materials, right? Plants are preparing their own food materials. Other than plants, any organisms can prepare their own food materials. So one bacteria named cyanobacteria also can prepare their own food because it is also having the chlorophyll in it. This is also bacteria can prepare their own food. Okay, for your competitive side, I said this point to you. So plants are the universal food providers. They are the primary source for the all living organisms because without plants we cannot survive. Either we are depending on the oxygen, either we are rely on them directly or indirectly. All the organisms directly or indirectly we are rely on the plants only, right? So only small. So how much the light is observing by the plant? Only small fraction of solar energy utilized in the photosynthesis, which means whatever the entire day the plants are not involved in the photosynthesis. Only small range of light is required to prepare the photosynthesis. So based on the intensity, what is meant by intensity? The light which is continuously focusing, right? So see, the morning light is we can walk and everything, right? But in the afternoon we can go out of the wherever we are. No, because the intensity of the light is more in the afternoon session. Then it will be the evening, fine, right? So see, the low intensity, in the low intensity, which means cloudy days. On the cloudy days, the plants having low photosynthesis. The plants performing the photosynthesis at the low rate because they are cloudy nature, because the intensity of the light is not sufficient to prepare the photosynthesis. If it is happening also, happens at a very low rate. Low rate. Coming to the moderate light. Okay, the light is up to the limit, which means that plants can prepare their own food. The plants can prepare their own food. Increased the photosynthesis up to a limit. Therein the moderate light is more efficient to prepare the food in the plants, right? If it is very high light, not moderate, not low, it is very high, then what happens? If the light intensity is more, then decrease the photosynthesis. Then there is a decrease of photosynthesis, because in the very high light intensity also, the plants cannot prepare their food because the temperature is more. Above the 40 degrees temperature, it can tolerate, and the plants can prepare the photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis can happen, but above this temperature, the plants cannot prepare their own food, but they cannot continue the process of photosynthesis. So in the very high light intensity is not also suitable for the photosynthesis. It makes the decreasing of the photosynthesis. Okay. So see here, quality. So chlorophyll observes. So which is actually observing in plants, observing the light is nothing but chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the pigment which observing the light. So actually we are thinking that plants are green in color, right? So plants are green in color. We are thinking that plants observe green light. That is why they are appearing in the green in color. But it is actually wrong. Yes, it is actually wrong, because plants are observe blue and red. Blue and red. So these are the two lights which are observed by the plants. Actually, the plants reflects the green light. The plants reflects the green light. The plants reflects the green light. So they are appearing in the green in color. Actually, plants are observing the green color? No, they are reflecting the green color. Actually, they are reflecting the green color. See here, chlorophyll observes blue and red light best, right? It reflects green light, and photosynthesis is least effective in green light. Because why the plants are not observing green light? Because in the green light the photosynthesis is not it is the least effective, not efficient effective. It occurs least effective. The photosynthesis is more suitable in the red and blue light. So maximum photosynthesis occurs under blue and red light. If they ask the question like in which lights the photosynthesis is more efficient, in the blue and red light. In the green light, the photosynthesis is not much effective, right? This is about the light. So coming to the next one. 1 minute. Okay. Coming to another source which is very important to require to produce the food in the plants is carbon dioxide. Okay, plants need carbon dioxide, right? The rate of photosynthesis increases with increase of carbon dioxide. So what is meant to be rate of photosynthesis? They can prepare more efficient. The process of photosynthesis, the preparation of food in the plants can more efficient by increasing with the increasing of carbon dioxide. If the more carbon dioxide is there, the photosynthesis is more, occurs very efficient. But see, in the atmosphere, however, very high levels of carbon dioxide become toxic to plants, which means more amount of carbon dioxide is okay. It is help to prepare the process of photosynthesis, and when this process occurs, the plants prepare their own food, right? But if it is carbon dioxide level is very high, means the plants cannot prepare their own food because it is toxic to the plants. So what it will do? It inhibits the photosynthesis. It inhibits the photosynthesis actually. It inhibits the photosynthesis. So in the light, what we have discussed, in the light, if above the 40 degrees temperature, if up to the 40 degrees temperature, the photosynthesis happen efficient only. If it is become more than this temperature, the plants cannot prepare its own food material, because in the plants, to activate the photosynthesis, which means that if they want to prepare their own food, some enzymes are required. Enzymes are required. By increasing the temperature, these enzymes can deactivated. These enzymes are deactivated. Right? And also in the cloudy regions also, the photosynthesis does not occur efficient because the sufficient light is not absorbed by the plants. Right? And also if the temperature is above the 40 degrees temperature, or also the plants cannot prepare their own food material because the enzymes present in the plants get deactivated by the temperature. Right? And like that only for carbon dioxide also. If the carbon dioxide is high levels, it is okay to prepare the photosynthesis. It is also how much the carbon dioxide is there, the rate of photosynthesis also increase that much only. But if it is very high, the carbon dioxide levels are very high, but the levels become toxic to plants and inhibit the photosynthesis. What will do? The high levels of photosynthesis, what it will make? It does not, inhibits means stopping. What is meant by word inhibiting? Inhibiting means stopping. It is stopping the process of photosynthesis. Overloading is always cause the effect. It always cause the damage. Right? So high levels of carbon dioxide also become toxic to plants. It inhibits the process of photosynthesis. Right? Let's then talk about another more very important, water. So water is a raw material. Without water, plants can prepare their own food material. No, because if it is the plant, these are the roots. Right? So there are photosynthesis occurs in the superficial layers called leaves. They are present in the upper part of the leaf. Right? So these are the leaves are the kitchens, because the food is prepared in the plants. The food is prepared in the plants at the leaves. Right? The process of photosynthesis occurs in the green parts of leaves mostly. So some of the young stems also the photosynthesis happen, but mostly if they ask where is the food is prepared in the plants, so what is where is the process of photosynthesis occurs in plants, which is nothing but leaves. Which is nothing but leaves. So to prepare this photosynthesis, what is required? To prepare the food in the plants, it requires water also, right? Carbon dioxide also, light also from the external environment. Right? So we discussed about the light and also carbon dioxide. Now we have to discuss about the water. So where it is actually the water comes to the plants? By the underground part of the plant. The roots are absorbing and it is transported to the leaves. So in that leaves, the chloroplast organelle blends all these raw materials and it prepares the food. Right? And along with the food, it releases the oxygen too. So that oxygen will be through the stomata. It is get back to the atmosphere. So it comes to the atmosphere. So all the living organisms on that, it is utilizing it, including humans also. For also oxygen is very important. So here see, water is a raw material for photosynthesis. It is also one of the raw materials required for the process of photosynthesis. Though less than 1% of the absorbed water is used in it. So how much percentage of the water is absorbed to the plant to prepare the photosynthesis? Less than 1%. Less than 1%. See here, photosynthesis rate decreases. Here the photosynthesis rate decreases. When if the water is not available, the photosynthesis rate is always decreased, because it is one of the raw material. It is one of the raw materials required for the plants. If the water is low, the photosynthesis rate is also decreases. The plants are not sufficiently supplied with water. If the plants are not sufficiently supplied with water, the photosynthesis rate also decreases, because the raw material of the raw material water is not sufficient to the plants to prepare the photosynthesis. So see here, in water deficient conditions. So in the water deficient conditions, see in the deserts, the areas which more have the the water deficient conditions we will see. So the stomata always close to prevent water loss. See what I said, through the stomata, the exchange of gases will be happen, right? The exchange of gases will be happen. So if this stomata is closed, what will happen? If this stomata is closed, what will happen? There is no exchange of gases occurs, right? So, and also the loss of water in plants in the form of water vapor, we call it as transpiration. If in the water deficient conditions, the stomata always appears as a closed, because through that stomata also the water should not be evaporated. Whatever the water is present in the plant, it should not be evaporated. That is why almost in the desert areas the stomata will be closed. Okay. See, in water deficient condition, the stomata closed to prevent water loss, nothing but transpiration. Okay, which is also blocks CO2 entry, which means when it is closed, the water is also not getting out, and also carbon dioxide which you want to take it also, it is not getting into it because the stomata is closed. So thus reducing the photosynthesis. If the carbon dioxide is not entering inside, there is any possibility of producing the photosynthesis? The answer is no, right? So mostly in the water deficient areas like deserts, in that areas the mostly in the daytime the stomata always be in the closure. Okay, so thereby it prevent the water. So it is prevent the water loss. It prevents the transpiration, right? So the water, so when the the excess water in the plant is go out through the transpiration, but in the desert areas the more the temperature will be more, right? So the desert plants are modified to tolerate the temperature. Okay, so this is about the factors affecting the photosynthesis. Got it? So light is one of the important we have to discuss about, and also temperature, carbon dioxide, water. These are the 4 factors which are involving in the there are the factors responsible for the photosynthesis. The most very high concentrations of these are not suitable for the photosynthesis, and also very low concentrations also not suitable for the photosynthesis. Always moderate temperatures, moderate light, temperature, and also carbon dioxide, water, they are preferred for the photosynthesis. Okay, let's see here. So coming to the significance of photosynthesis. So what do you understood by the process of photosynthesis, children? See, life would not exist without photosynthesis. Can we imagine our lives without plants? No, which means our lives, animals' lives does not exist without photosynthesis, because food source, almost living organisms directly or indirectly depend on food by other plants, right? So mainly the main staple food of our day-to-day life is rice. It is mainly coming from the plants, right? So curry, it is also made up of the plants, right? Without directly or indirectly. Example, if you take a lion, what will eat? The source of food it is eaten by the lion is, say example, deer. So what it will eat? It will eat plants. So if the plants are not exist, can you imagine the lion? No. Directly or indirectly, we are depending on the food for plants, right? So coming to the next, gas balance. Photosynthesis absorbs the carbon dioxide. We are exhaling the carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide is taken by the plants, and it releases the important gas name called oxygen, which mainly required for the all living organisms. to produce energy and also for various activities. It is required for the, for all organisms. So helping balance in the atmospheric gases, helps in balancing the atmospheric gases. Coming to the respiration, what is meant by respiration? Respiration means producing of energy. Respiration means producing of energy. Respiration means producing of energy. In simple form, we can say producing of energy. Is in mainly in plants, animals. To produce the energy, the required element is oxygen, right? So the oxygen released used by the animals for respiration. The oxygen is released used by the animals for respiration, which means to produce the energy, the oxygen is required. Okay, the organisms which are which utilize the oxygen for their chemical reactions occurs in their body to produce energy. Nothing but they are using the oxygen to produce the energy. They are aerobic organisms. So to prepare, to what are the chemical reactions occurs in the presence of oxygen. Those are called aerobic organisms. They are called aerobic organisms. Okay. So coming to the fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, natural gas are formed by ancient plant material which are deposited under the ground. Through the heat and compression, the fossil fuels are formed. So this is what the significance of photosynthesis, which means without photosynthesis, without plants, that any living organisms on earth cannot be survive, right? Okay, coming to the next, leaves of various colors. So you see the colors of with different colors, right? They are of different colors, which means what we know that. So I said what to you. So the chlorophyll pigment present in the leaves is absorbing the green light, which helps preparation of food, and the process of photosynthesis is happening. But these are the different colors are there, right? In some leaves, see, the patches are nothing but the green. So they will prepare the food. The chlorophyll pigment present in it, which helps to absorb the light, and the preparation, the process of photosynthesis occurs, and the preparation of the food happens, right? But these are violet, see. So which means these also absorb light. These also absorb light. The pigment of chlorophyll is masked by this colors, which means these are they are reflecting that color, but the mostly chlorophyll is masked by in these leaves. See here, most plants have green leaves. Almost in day-to-day life we see the plants all are of having the green leaves only. But some have red, violet and also brown, etc. Various colors we see in our day-to-day life. These color leaves still contain chlorophyll, but they also contain chlorophyll, but it is masked by those colors, but it is masked by the pigments, nothing but the colors we call it as pigments. They are masked by the pigments. Photosynthesis occurs in such leaves too. In that leaves also photosynthesis occurs, right? For example, coleus plants have red, brown, patchy leaves. So in the money plant, we discussed the activity also now. We discussed in the money plant. So it is, in these plants the happening the process of photosynthesis or not, we discussed in the activity, right? Like that only coleus plants also, they are red, brown and they have patchy leaves. They also carry out photosynthesis because it is masked by the pigments. The chlorophyll actually masked by the pigments. Okay. This is about the various, if you have a doubt that various colors of leaves is they can produce photosynthesis, of course yes, because the chlorophyll is masked by the various colors, nothing but they are called pigments. Okay. Coming to the next. So synthesis of nutrients. We know that for the photosynthesis it requires raw materials like water, carbon dioxide and light, right? So how we, for the excess amount of how it is the plants can prepare photosynthesis or not, we discuss now. So let's see. Is the plants need nutrients? Of course they need nutrients. Of course they also need nutrients. See, synthesis of nutrients. see, what are this, the plant is producing the food now. It is ultimately stored in the form of starch. The starch is nothing but carbohydrates. Nothing but carbohydrates. Right? So, in this, with the help of what components it is synthesizing the carbohydrates? Plants synthesize carbohydrates during the process of photosynthesis. Using the, which elements it is using? From the carbon dioxide it is using the carbon, and the hydrogen, nothing but from the water, and oxygen. Oxygen is also utilizing because for the respiration oxygen is necessary to produce the energy in plants. The oxygen is also required. So in the process of photosynthesis, carbon is producing in the glucose, hydrogen is producing, right? And also because carbon hydrogen is the nothing but glucose. It is a food is prepared in the plants. So glucose, the sweet glucose is nothing but carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. It is stored in the form of starch. It is stored in the form of starch in plants. So whatever the food is prepared in plants, they are the bonds of carbohydrates only. Either the glucose, sucrose, fructose, whatever. The food is prepared in the plants is nothing but the carbohydrates. Okay, in that glucose only itself. The food is prepared in the plants is carbohydrates. In the carbohydrates, what it is having? Glucose is having, right? Glucose, the formula is, the chemical formula of the glucose is C6H12O6, right? So the carbon is synthesizing, hydrogen is synthesizing, along with that oxygen also producing in the process of photosynthesis, right? See, for growth they need, for the growth they also need proteins and fats too. For our for the human beings, we require proteins and nutrients, of course yes. For the growth and development, we also require proteins and fats. Is the plants require proteins and fats? For the to prepare the food, the required elements are carbon dioxide, water and light. In the presence of chlorophyll, it is producing the food, right? For the preparing the food, for its growth, it is required proteins and nutrients too. So where these proteins and fats are coming from, right? Requiring other nutrients also like nitrogen. So nitrogen, why they want nitrogen? So the plants mainly require nutrients like NPK. They are NPK. Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Phosphorus and potassium. These are the nutrients required for the plants essential. These are the essential, elements, the essential nutrients required for the plants for the growth. Right? Alright. So, this nitrogen is coming from the, from the manure, and also the mainly farmers they will, they will bought and they will, give to these rice fields mostly, because the main requirement element of the rice and wheat is the nitrogen only, right? So although nitrogen is abundant in the atmosphere, we know nitrogen is almost 78% present in the atmosphere. How much amount is present in the atmosphere? 78% of the nitrogen is present in the atmosphere. But plants cannot use free nitrogen directly. We also require nitrogen. Animals also require nitrogen. Plants also require nitrogen. But they cannot use this free nitrogen directly. With the help of the bacteria, they can utilize this nitrogen by the process of symbiosis. Okay? By the process of symbiotic association, the plants can utilize the nitrogen. So, in the legume plants like pea plant, bean plant, groundnut, these plants having, in their roots, they have the ball like structures will be there. It is having the bacteria. We and plants don't have any mechanism that can directly use the, atmospheric nitrogen, but bacteria have that. So in some plants like bee plant, pea, groundnut, these plants having that mechanism because their roots having the ball like structures called nodules. In that nodules bacteria named rhizobium will be present. So these bacteria fix the nitrogen in the plants. So the nitrogen utilized by the plants. Okay. So how we are getting then? We also need nitrogen, no? So we are relying on the plants, no? So indirectly also we are relying plants. Whatever the nitrogen is present in, we'll it comes to us, right? So this is how we are getting nitrogen. This is how the plants are taking the nitrogen. See, that is why they given the statement like this: although nitrogen is abundant in the atmosphere, about it is present in the 78% also, plants cannot use free nitrogen directly, but is one of the most required element to the plants, because the main primary requirement of the nutrients required of the plant is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So this is about the today's session, and tomorrow we'll meet about the heterotrophic nutrition. So before I am winding up the class, I would like to discuss this topic also, so it will get easy for you. Plants get nitrogen in two ways. How many ways? By the nitrogen fixing bacteria and by the fertilizers. So this is the artificial method. It is artificial. We are providing. So we are providing to the plants. So is the nitrogen fixing bacteria is a natural method because of the rhizobium. I said no. In groundnut, pea plants, those plants in the roots they have the nodules. Nothing but in that nodules the bacteria named rhizobium is present. It is converting atmospheric nitrogen into the useful form like ammonia. Plants are using in the form of nitrogen is by as a ammonia. Right? Coming to the next point. Fertilizers provide nitrogen to plants. So fertilizers, we are giving the fertilizers to the plants. The farmers providing the fertilizers. So thereby we are providing nitrogen to plants. So thereby it increases the soil fertility. Either the natural methods like we can use the manure also, but mostly nowadays for the good yield, to get the more yield, so fertilizers came. So we are using more fertilizers. So thereby we are getting good yield. As we know, we are getting good yield also. Some side effects also is there. Some side effects also is there. Okay. We'll discuss. You will discuss. You will get to know in the further classes. For your as your science standard is enough for you. Okay. Let's see the last slide of the today's session. So in xerophytic plants, what are xerophytic plants? They are desert plants. Desert plants are also called as xerophytic plants. They have to tolerate extreme temperature, right? That is why they are called as desert plants. Zero means desert. What we call? So, madam, why you not written as a xerophytic, desert plants? Because zero means desert. Zero means desert. Phytic mean plants. Xerophytic plants, which means desert plants. Example, what did they call? Cactus. Cactus is the good example for the desert plants. They grow in a dry regions like deserts. They grow in the deserts are the dry regions. Leaves are modified into small spines. Small spines. See, these are the cactus plant. Flowering cactus plant. This one. See, the leaves are modified like a spines. So to reduce water loss, because when you have the high temperature, what will happen? If the leaves having the stomata, if they are open, to synthesize the food, if they are opened also, whatever the water is present in that, it will be get it off, right, through the process of transpiration. So that is why the leaves are reduced as like the spines to reduce the water loss, nothing but transpiration. The stems become green. These are the stems. They only become the green, fleshy. So you see the aloe vera, right? It is also desert plant. You will see the fleshy inside of it. What you will see? You see the fleshiness. So they are fleshy and photosynthetic. They only prepare its food and synthesize the food via process of photosynthesis. Okay. And you also see the in the water. some rivers you see the small slimy patches like they are called algae. What they are called, children? They are algae. Slimy green patches seen in the stagnant water. Not only the stagnant water, so in the rivers, some of the rivers you may see in your areas, right? So the stagnant patches we call it as algae. So algae also having the chlorophyll. When it is having the chlorophyll, it can able to prepare its own food material by the process name called photosynthesis, right? So it contains chlorophyll pigment, can synthesize their own food through the process of photosynthesis. Okay. So as of now we have completed the autotrophic nutrition. So let's meet tomorrow with the heterotrophic nutrition, right? This is about the today's session. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. I will clear you all your doubts. So it is quite useful session for you children. So before I am winding up the class, I would like to say very important news for you. As I said earlier also, join in our Telegram group by scanning this QR code. So by scanning this QR code, you can access our Telegram channel. So what are the benefits you will get? Of course, you will get daily quizzes of biology, chemistry, physics and mathematics, and pre-live class schedules will be dropped there. So you can join on time to our classes. And also free resources. What are the PPT is there? Will drop in there. So you can easily read out the content and you can answer. It is helpful to your class also, for upcoming as we have discussed the first chapter. It is if you read priorly, it will be quite easy for you in the schools, right? And also one on doubt solving sessions also will be there, which means so whatever you have doubt, drop in there with particular lecturer. So they will, particular faculty, they will answer all your doubts. Okay. If you have any queries from our side, you can contact this number. Then we will provide you the whatever, we will help you out all of your queries. Okay. And also the batches are already going on, children. The almost three batches are going on. If you really interested to power your foundation, it is the best platform for you. The foundation is very necessary to crack if you want to see yourself as a doctor, engineer. So that for that goal, it is very requirement to have your foundation. So you will get it here. So as we are providing mainly for the subjects of biology, chemistry, physics and mathematics. These are the four main subjects which is required for the foundation stronger. If your basics are strong, you can easily crack in the 11th, 12th, it is quite easy for you. The foundation is batch for mainly 6 to 10 standard people. For upcoming of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th standard people, it is quite useful for you. So if you want to join, enroll today with our NEET World. So this is what about today's session. If you have any queries, please let me know. So as we are providing online also, offline also. Offline is present in Narayani Ma'am, Hyderabad. So if you want to join online, so down scrolling number is there, no. Otherwise, you can comment in the comment section. Otherwise, you can directly contact with this number. So we will provide you the all information, whatever the queries you have. It is quite so important for you. So don't ask. It is see the all previous demo classes of us. So you can get how we are doing the questionnaire sessions. It is more useful to you, and you will get your foundation stronger. There we can write the comparative examinations easily. So this is about today's session. So let's meet the tomorrow session, children. So tomorrow we will discuss about the heterotrophic nutrition. So this is about the today's session. Let's meet in the tomorrow session. Okay. Thank you.